which means you can continue. All right. Thank you very much for your patience, everyone. Now, I will go ahead and copy the emails that you've sent to me and then invite one or two persons. So the email please just confirm that your email, I will invite Opala, I will invite Dr. Smith to the sheet. I would invite Rotimi to the sheet. I will also invite Babalola to the sheet, as well as Elizabeth. I'm inviting all the people that dropped their email here. So this is how to invite people to collaborate with you. When you come to add their emails, so I'm going to add first I copied, which is Opala Precious. I will add the second email, which is Dr. Smith. I will add the third email, which is Rotimi. I will add the fourth email, which is Babalola. And then the fifth email, which is Elizabeth. So these are the emails that I copied, and I've added all the emails. Okay. Now, Saidat, your hand is still up. Do you have a question for me? Or Sadiat? Okay, thank you. So now with these emails that have been pasted here, the next step is to look at the editor's access, or the access I want to grant to these people. Do I want to give them viewers access? Like I said earlier, the viewers access will only allow them to view the sheet, but they cannot make any modification. All right. The commenter access will allow them to view the sheet and drop a comment, like I showed us earlier, but they can't make modification on the sheet. While the editor's access will allow them view the sheet, drop as we did the sheet. So I'll allow them to come here and do some modifications. Okay. So just watch what I'm going to do. So please, when I invite you, don't do anything yet. I'll ask you to do, I'll give an instruction on what to do. So I'm sending invitation to them, but try to join the sheet, but don't do anything on the sheet. Don't type anything, don't do it, just join the sheet. So as they are joining the sheet, watch the top part of my sheet. Let our eyes be at this region. You will see them appear here once they start to join my sheet. That is how to see the people that will collaborate with you. They will all appear here. So let's just, as I continue, you watch that once anybody joins, the person will appear here, the icon. Aha, somebody has joined. Dr. Smith is here already. Dr. Smith has joined. Any other person that joined, you will see them here. So let me continue. So that is what this share is meant for. Then we have, okay, others are already here. Who is here? This Ayobami is here. Okpala is here, and Dr. Smith is also here. The next thing we have, these are the menus, as we have in Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, and every other software that you work with. We have the file menu, the edit menu, the view menu, the insert menu, the format menu, the data menu, tools, extension, and help. And we'll talk about these menus as we move on. Then we also have the toolbar that has various tools that are for editing your sheet and all. Then let's come down, and then we have the formula bar. This bar right here is the formula bar, the bar that has FX in front of it. This is where the formula that you use in typing whatever you want to type will be displayed when you start entering functions and formula in Google Sheets. And this box here is called the name box. The name box shows you the active cell. The active cell. In fact, what is a cell? C-E-L-L. A cell is made up of an intersection of rows and columns. So when a row intersects a column, it forms a cell. So the intersection of row 1 and column A forms cell A1. And it is cell A1 that is selected right now. And that is why you see it on the name box A1. In fact, on cell A1, I have Dr. Smith and Okpala Precious. They have selected cell A1 from their computers, and you can see it pop up on my own screen. Okay, so these are the rows. The rows are numbered, number 1, 2, 3, up to 1,000. To get to the end of this sheet, I will hold on Control key on my keyboard and press my page down or down arrow key. It takes me to the very last sheet in Google Sheet. The last cell, I meant to say. It takes me to the last cell in Google Sheets. So, well, having 1,000 rows doesn't mean that that is the limit. Google Sheet has a limitless number of rows that can be entered to infinity. You can keep adding the rows, can keep adding the rows. It doesn't have an end. I can get back to the top by pressing my control and page up. It takes me back to the top, or control and my arrow up key. Now, those are the rows. Don't forget, the rows are numbered. Why we have the columns to have letters, letter A, B, C, D, up to letter Z. To get to the last end at the right-hand side, I'll hold on my control key and right arrow key. That is the last column, Z. So I have columns A to Z, and I have rows 1 to 1,000. But of course, I can have more rows. But for now, we have 1,000 rows. Somebody might want to ask, how can I add more rows since we have just 1,000? How can I insert more rows? Do you see the add button right here? And there's 1,000 here. Any number of rows you want to add, more rows you want to add, just type the number here and press add. So if I want to add 2,000 more rows, I'll type 2,000 and say add. And with this, we have successfully added more 2,000 rows, which makes it 3,000 in total. Do you see that? So you can keep adding number of rows as much as you want. The same thing we can do with the columns. For the columns, I don't have an option to add more columns as we have for the rows, but I can right click on the last column, click on either insert to the left or insert to the right from the drop down option that popped up. Once you add more column, you have column AA, you have column AB, you have column AC, AD, and that will continue to increase the column. The more you add the columns, the more they appear. So these are rows and columns, and these are cells. Now that I've introduced you to the interface, Google Sheets interface, I would also talk about how to enter data, and then I can give a tag to the people who are already on my sheet to enter data, so you can see the way we collaborate together to work on a particular, to work on a single sheet. Now, how do you enter data? Once you select the cell that's of interest, go ahead and type. Please, guys, the guys on my sheet, please don't type yet. I'll give you instruction on what to do when I want you to do carry out the instruction. Can you zoom? Can we have Z? Of course, yes, blessed. We can have as many columns as possible. You can have AAA, AAAA, AAA. You can have ZZZ. You can keep inserting the columns as much as you want. Okay, we have a few more minutes to go before we wrap up. Let me show you data entry. So how do we enter data? So let's say I want to create a column quickly of participants in this meeting. I'll say the name. I'll type name. So when you type, just type, select the cell you want to type. Now to move to the right, you can move to the right with your tab key. Let me turn on my on-screen keyboard and share my entire screen so that people you see what I want to show you. I want to show you how to move around the sheet. It's important that you know how to move around the sheet. Very, very important. So allow me to share my entire screen so that as I move around the sheet with the keys that I mentioned, you would know what I am referring to. Allow me to share my entire screen and then turn on my on-screen keyboard. On-screen keyboard. Okay. So this is what I mean by tab. I believe everyone can see my on-screen keyboard. This is the tab key here, TAB. Now, when I type anything, I type name. Let me type name. Let me type location. Then to move to the next cell to the right, you can press your tab key. So once you press your tab key, it goes to the right. Tab takes you to the right. Do you see that? So it's either you move to the right using the tab. If you want to also use the tab to move to the left, you have to press Shift Tab. Do you see that? Shift Tab will move it to the left. Shift Tab, move it to the left. But only Tab will move it to the right. That's one way to move around left or right using your tab key. The other way to move around your cells is with your arrow key, your navigation key. I can move to the left with my left navigation key. Do you see that? I'm going to the left. I can also move to the right with my right navigation key. Can you see that? I can move down with my down navigation key, and I can move up with my up navigation key. Can we all see that? So that's how to move around on spreadsheets in general, either Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel. Now, but if you are typing data from left to right and you go to the next row, left to right, next row, left to right, it is advisable to do that using your tab key. What I'm going to do, I have typed in name, tab, location, tab. Let me say gender or sex. Let me call it sex. Tab. I'll type in phone number. Then, if I want to go to the next row, row A2, I press enter. Once I press enter, the cell, the cursor will go down to the next row. So that is why it's better to move with tab to the right. And if you want to go to the next row down, just press enter key. It goes to the next row down. So that's how to move around in your spreadsheet application. Yes, so now is the time for us to quickly practicalize what we've said before we round off to this section. And if there are questions, you can ask your questions. Okay, I can see Dorcas is still on the sheet, as well as who are Opala Precious. So Dorcas, please, I'd like you to take the first two columns from column A1 up to column A10. Just type random names or type the names you see on the screen. The names of people you see on the screen. Type their names from A2 to A10. Then, okay, Opala, please just type in location, random location from B to B, Opala. Then the third person who is what? Yes, Ayobami, please go to the sex. No, go to phone number. Go to phone number and type in random phone numbers from D2 to D10. Random phone numbers. Thank you. Guys, can you see what is happening here? They are at different locations from each other, and yet you are able to collaborate. As they are typing, I'm seeing what is happening real time. Okay, I can point my arrow to see who is typing. Okay, Dorcas is the person typing here. I can see that Opola Precious is the person typing here, and Ayobami is the person typing here. Start from D to Ayobami. Random phone numbers. Just put something random. Okay, thank you, Dorcas. Dorcas is done typing hers. Precious is almost done, and Ayobami is also doing that. Dorcas, please go ahead and type in random sex, random gender, male. We have just two gender that I know of, male or female. I don't know the third one. Okay, those are it. That is it, male or female. Just type in random gender, male or female. And now we have been able to collaborate on a particular on one sheet at the same time, and you see what just happened. Let me share my just a single sheet. We've seen how this collaboration has been done by the three or the four of us. We worked on this sheet at the same time. Let's go back to the version. Let me show you what I meant about this version control. If I click here, and you will see the version now, and then you see who worked on what column. You see the color green. That's my name. I was one that worked on the column title, name, location, sex, phone number. Dr. Smith worked on column A and B and C. So this will tell me who did what modification. Opala Precious worked on this column B, and then Ayobami worked on column D. Everything had been indicated with different colors as they work on them, and to also show us the time those sheets or the different parts of the sheets were modified. Okay, so this is data entry on Google Sheets, and we have lots more to talk about, which in the next 10 minutes I will talk about those as before we wrap up this section. But if you have any question before I continue, I'll give room for questions. Are there questions? Any questions? Remember, if you have questions, if you don't want to speak, you can also drop your questions in the chat. I'll get the questions and get them answered as we move on. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dorcas. Thank you, Opala. Thank you, Ayobami. So let me enter a random number here too. Now, what do you notice? What do you notice as Opala is entering those numbers? As Ayobami is entering those numbers, the zeros at the beginning, they were disappearing, right? Yes. Ayobami, yes. These zeros are not staying, they are disappearing, and it should be 080. So how do we get those zeros to stay? There are two ways to do that. The first method is this. Please watch my screen. I will zoom in a little bit so that everybody sees my screen. The first method to getting your zero to stay is to start it with this. You see that hyphen? That's kind of, it's not quotation mark. The hyphen this small symbol is on the key before 1. The key before 1. That's figure. Then you can type in your 07013623317. Press enter. Once you do that, okay, don't even use this one. I think it's better you use your single exclamation mark. Single exclamation mark on my keyboard. It is just the key before my enter key. The single exclamation mark. I think I need to share my entire screen again and show you from my on-screen keyboard, because I love to carry everyone along whenever I am having a session like this, so that nobody is left out, because you have a project to complete at the end of this training or towards the end of the training. Now let's get back to Google Sheets. Let me put on my on-screen keyboard again. On-screen keyboard, as I show you the key, the single quotation mark. Yeah. Yes, the single quotation mark. Yes, please. So this is the single quotation mark. If you can see my screen, right? This is the single quotation mark just next to my enter key. When you press this mark, right? When you press the mark, the next thing is for you to, when you press the mark, the next thing is for you, let me go back to my sheets. Where's my sheets? Where is my, here's my sheet. So let me turn on my on-screen keyboard again. So once you press this mark, right, it allows you, okay, I want it to appear here. Press the mark, it allows you to type in any number, and so that your zero will be retained. Can you see that? Once I press enter, the zero will no longer get missing. It should be retained. That is one way to do this. So you always start with the single quotation mark, then you put in your zero and type your phone number, and that number will be retained. Do we see that? The number will be retained. That is one way to do it. Now, the other way to get this done is actually the second method to do this is to use a format. You know, our phone numbers, let's look at the number of digits that are contained in the phone number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 digits, right? So these phone numbers should be 10, the ones that do not have 0 appearing at the beginning. It should be 10 digits and not 11. So let's reduce every other phone numbers to 10 digits, so that when I apply the rule I'm about to apply, it will work for the phone numbers. Just watch this. I'm trying to reduce them to 10 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, is it? Oh, I think it's even more than 10. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's 10 digits now. Okay, so I have reduced all these numbers to 10 digits. Now watch the other method. So what I need to do is to highlight the entire cells. And how do you highlight? You click the first one, you click and drag down to highlight the entire cells. Once you highlight the entire cells, go to Format menu. Can you see the Format menu on the menu bar? Go to Format menu. Now, from the Format menu, move on to come to number. Point your arrow to number. Once you point your arrow to number, it brings this pop-up window. Scroll down and go to Format Number or Custom Number Format. Custom number format. It is the last option I have on the list. Click on that option. Once you do that, it will give you this custom number format dialog box. In the dialog box, enter 11 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. With these 11 zeros you have entered, whenever you enter your phone number, it will also help you retain the 0 digits. Let's apply. Can you see now that all our phone numbers now have 0, which appeared at the front before other digits? So these are the two ways you can allow for your zeros to be retained. Okay, to allow for your zeros to be retained. And so far so good. We have covered quite a lot of things, and I wish to cover more. So in the meeting tomorrow, but I'll have to stop here so that I can take some questions. Now, in tomorrow's meeting, With this solid foundation that we have built, in tomorrow's meeting, we will be focusing on some data cleaning, data transformation, and data visualization. I would not be going over the basics we have done already. So once this recording is made available, please go over it and make sure you practicalize whatever we've done today. Make yourself comfortable with the platform. I mean, with spreadsheets. Be sure that you can move around, you can enter data. And as we meet tomorrow, I'll talk about basic functions, talk about how to clean data, apply filters to your data, sort, and also create some visualizations. And with this, I think we've come to the end of today's meeting. And I want to take questions, please. I want to take questions or comments. If you have any question or comment for me, I'll be happy to have them. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time and for your patience. Are there questions? Okay, thank you for the uploads. Thank you. So I think I've done a great job. Blessed just said, well explained. Oh, great. So I've done a great job, which means that I was able to carry almost everybody along. I'm happy about that. So we meet again tomorrow, same time, same station. Please try to be early because 8 on the dot, we will continue. And tomorrow is going to be very, very intensive. Please come with your computer because it's going to be hands-on and we'll be doing we're learning a lot of interesting things tomorrow. And to have a wonderful, no, I don't have to say that. Let me allow Tosin. Tosin, are you still on the call? Let me allow Tosin or Chika to end this session. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Bye for now.
Thank you so much, sir. We are very grateful. Can we appreciate him? Can we appreciate him with our emoji? I believe that we must have gotten value. I mean, knowledge for those of us that are not familiar with Google Sheets. You can do cool stuff now in Google Sheets. Isn't that amazing? Very good. Thank you so much, sir. We're very grateful. Extended to Jesus Copper. We are very grateful. Thank you so much, Data Side. We are grateful. Yes. And so please let's endeavor to join with our computers tomorrow if you are, because as you have said, the certificate is based on participation. If you do the task on the call, I mean, those things that are assigned to you to do, if you participate and you turn in your assignment or the project given to you, you get your certificate. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow and endeavor to practice before time tomorrow. Those things you've learned today, lay hands on practical and come with questions tomorrow. I'm not pleased that we don't have question. Our instructor is loaded. You don't know. All right. Thank you, everyone. If anyone have something to say, we can do that. But in the absence of none, we call it a wrap here. Thank you. And then good night.